How's that going to work you going to have a long-term relationship at some point? How are you going to train yourself for that? Okay, so having said that, and then, how carefully should we conduct ourselves in sexual matters? I would say, well, as carefully as you conduct yourself in any matter of importance. And that stretches all the way up to the top, whatever the top is.
The hookup culture is very tricky because, it's an illusion. It seems very mystical for people who aren't participating in the hookup culture. It seems like, man, like a utopia, of women just being thoughts and girls going home easily, getting girls to come over to your place off dating apps. It seems like this special thing, right? But, looking back, man, it was a very dangerous game. Me participating in the hookup culture was a very dangerous game. I've gotten myself into some sketchy situations with different girls. I could have possibly gotten me too several times, probably, of women, getting angry, or they, some things didn't kind of go right, or something misunderstanding, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I used to pull girls home, and I would just want to play their video games. Like, after I smash, I didn't want to like talk or have affection or like cuddle. Like, nah, bro, I didn't want to. Like, as soon as I finished, I was already kind of buzzed off the booze, so I'll be like, fuck, I want to play video games. So I would instantly regret it and just realize how much of a waste of time it was.
Consciously functioning with the objective gaze in mind. The male gaze and the female gaze are the ideas that men and women are depicted a certain way in the media that appeals to the objectification of them. Now, I think both the male gaze and the female gaze are a problem, and that's why I've combined them into this one word, which is the objective gaze. Essentially, many young people are programmed since a young age to view the sex that they're attracted to in a very certain way that makes them see that attractive person as an object and nothing more. And as much as we don't want to admit it, the media has an intensely tight grip over how our culture forms and develops.
All right, shalom. Kohaloyim la Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Bashim Rachak Wadash Mashana Kabawadium La Hazakwanium Shogadawar Rakab Shalom Laha Bacharyam Akim Wa Agwathium Shalom Maha Wa Babarakim. That is to say, from the Paleo Hebrew to the English, all praises to the Heavenly Father Yahweh, who the world inwardly calls God, whose name means He is or He exists. Bahashim means in the name. Yahweh Shai is the name of the Son, who the world inwardly calls Jesus Christ, whose name is He deliverer, He salvation. Bashem Rakak Wadash means in the name Holy Spirit, which is the Spirit of truth that we've been blessed with in order to break down these scriptures. All right, and expound thereof. Double honors to the elders of Great Millstone, the ones who rule well for teaching us this truth, are by reason of their labor and much experience. Peace to the election brothers and sisters, the ones out there getting down for your crown, all right, praying and laboring in His work with all your might. And peace, love, and blessings. Shalom Ahab wa Barakim. There's a certain conversation among men that seems uncomely, but works well to obtain our goals, and that is the practice of abstinence. Okay, but before I go into that, I want to start off with this definition of hypersexual or hypersexuality. So hypersexuality, it says compulsive sexual behavior is sometimes called hypersexuality or sexual addiction. It's an intense focus on sexual fantasies, urges, or behaviors that can't be controlled. This causes distress and problems for your health, job, relationships, or other parts of your life. The reason why I'm doing this video is because, and brothers have talked about it many times before, we live in this generation of hookup culture, okay, which hookup culture is totally against the scriptures. All right, another reason why I'm bringing that up is because I want to say about for the past couple of weeks, the elders have been talking about, for you brothers who are, virgins, never touched a woman, never had any type of affection with a woman, don't worry about it, okay, because what we're going to attain greater in the kingdom. The thing is, and not just, brothers who are virgins, but brothers who's, who's been in a long-term dry spell, all right? It's okay. It's perfectly fine. All right. It's not in every man's lot, especially in this life, to just be, smacking down shorties all over the place. We're not living in those times. And I've said it on many videos before. All right, and what sparked me to do this video is because I'm undergoing a certain change in my life that you know, I've been thinking about this word hypersexuality a lot, and you know, I've been doing certain hobbies. I'm not going to give mention to them, but I've been doing certain hobbies that has caused me to look at women in a whole nother way and things of that nature. And that whole nother way is basically like, you know, you can't do anything for me that I can't do for myself. So why would I even, you know, make bed with you? You know, like how, you know, a lot of guys be like, you know, what do you bring to the table and so on and so forth. And, you know, that's a good mindset to have when, you know, perceiving certain women. All right. And now, yes, you do got brothers who go out and pop prostitutes, and you realistically, you better off doing that than playing this little silly game of hookup culture with the people of this world, man. All right, because as the elders always say, like, you know, your brothers go out and they you know, try to play around with all these shorties. You could catch something, because the Lord can't do that, even with you being in the truth. But that'll mainly come from you not being careful. All right, that'll mainly come from us not being careful, not being mindful, not using proper discernment when dealing with these women out here. Okay, or if you're an emotional brother, you know, emotional brother, you know, like myself, and things of that nature. For shorty dish you, like if she shames you and so on and so forth, you know, you could end up turning up on her, man. All right, by listening to Satan, because, you know, when playing around with these women and you're not giving them what they want and so on and so forth, they start insulting you. Okay, they start being rude, they start getting mean and shit like that. They start taking away the affection. So if you're an emotional brother, it's in your best interest not to play this whole dating game or get involved in hookup culture, okay, unless you're sincerely looking for a wife, man. Because sometimes shit happens. All right, and I talked about it briefly before in another video. Sometimes the Lord will bring a woman in your life, or women in your life, just so they can get judged. All right, just so they can get judged, man. And what, you would be even more justified. Okay. But if you're just a brother going around, you know what I'm saying, you know, doing the whole pump and dump, smash and dash, one night stands and so on and so forth, I'm telling you right now, you're going off. You're going off. All right. I should know. I didn't did a lot of that, you know, when I was down south. I'm telling you right now, you're going off, and the Lord can fuck you up for that. Okay. So you could either, you know, cluck your chicken, or, you know, deal with prostitutes. All right. And there's nothing in the scriptures against dealing with prostitutes, but I'll go into that. But going back to this meaning of hypersexuality, it says it's an intense focus on sexual fantasies. And a lot of the sexual fantasies we have, you know, that we have going on in our minds comes from, of course, where? Porn. All right, pornographic material, which these kites, these Amalekites made. All right, these red people, the little hats with the pigtails, all right, on their sideburns, all right, and the long black coats, all right, that comes from them. Pornographic material is not normal. It's extremely damaging to the brain. All right, now I don't know all the scientific terms and so on and so forth, but I can look this up: porn and dopamine. Okay, let me I'll go to this one, addictionhope.com. It says, I've heard a large number of people say something like, it does matter if I look at porn, it is my choice and it doesn't affect anyone. This comment often reflects an addict's inability to see outside of themselves. Yeah, because it's been so normalized that over time we've developed a certain callous and we got used to it. So now we're desensitized. Now it's acceptable. Okay? Because porn, just like sex, it's not a normal conversation. That's improper conduct, if you will. Just like we shouldn't know another man's or another woman's bedroom business, and vice versa. We're not supposed to know each other's bedroom business. Okay? But what? Because this world is so hypersexualized, and you know, we see, you know, different types of people involving in or engaging in different types of sexual activities on a screen. All right, we take in those thoughts, and so we develop certain fetishes and certain behaviors and patterns that are not normal. Okay, it says It says this comment often reflects an addict's inability to see outside of themselves. And even if you find yourself saying the same thing, I want to show you why porn addiction harms you. It harms your brain. All right. And you can actually go on YouTube, because this is actually what I've been doing for the past 2 weeks. I've been looking at videos, talking about the whole porn situation and stuff like that. And, a lot of, science and big words. A lot of people came out really saying the same thing. Because porn is awful. It's not normal, man. It's highly immoral. Okay. From the stage porn to the amateur to whatever the hell else is out here online, it's immoral, man. Okay. It says if you imagine a normal electrical circuit, it has a limited electrical capacity. And just like the movies, if you exceed this capacity by overloading the circuit, a meltdown occurs. Fires break out and significant damage is done. A similar thing happens to a brain flooded by pornography, except because of the brain's adaptive ability, when it becomes overloaded by dopamine, it alters how it is wired. All right, so there you go. So porn literally alters your brain. Now, how you perceive certain things, man. All right, this is why, a lot of men just simply view women as objects and not human beings. All right, which yes, they are human beings, and a lot of them do objectify themselves. However, as men of Yahweh Shem Yahweh, Lord's willing, I am one. Okay, we have to fashion ourselves in a different mindset. All right, even if a woman is coming after us, simply for a good time and not a long time, we have to fashion ourselves in another conduct, man, in a spiritual conduct. Okay. It says, in which a part of that is having the ability to say no, but I'll go more into it. Go more into that, Lord's willing. It says, except because of the brain's adaptive ability, when it becomes overloaded by dopamine, it alters how it is wired. This ultimately rewires how pleasure is perceived. It says how viewing porn addiction impacts the brain. It says when we experience highly arousing stimuli such as porn, the dopamine level in our brains spike. Okay, now dopamine, you can look that up for yourselves, but it's basically the feel-good element in your brain. Okay, so when you're watching porn, and when you're watching, a large amount of porn, all right, you get all happy all over the place, because you see in these different shorties, different color shorties, different sizes, old, young, however the hell, midgets, and so on and so forth, tall, short, whatever it is, and you're observing them in different elements. Okay, whether woman on woman action, man on woman action, whatever it is, man. Okay, you're seeing these different elements, all right, on this pixelated screen. All right, it's immoral. It says this novel to our brain. It says this is novel to our brain, and what has been named the Coolidge effect begins. We are wired to feel drawn to this new and exciting experience. Pleasure neurochemicals in the brain respond as we continue to engage the stimulus, and we can overstimulate ourselves. This is when we go beyond normal pleasure activation, and the neurochemicals can start damaging patterns. Okay, I'm not gonna read this whole article. All right, you brothers can look things like this up for yourselves. All right, now this is on addictionhope.com, and all I did was type in porn and dopamine. Okay, because observing porn, it activates that, man. Okay, and that's why once again, we view a lot of the times we view different women as objects, man. All right, and we just want to pump and dump. We just want to get our rocks off. All right, have nothing to do with it anymore. But once again, that's going off. All right, now in that same light, I want to bring up this word abstinent. Abstinence etymology. So abstinence is a noun. It says forbearance and indulgence of the appetites. Okay, and one of the main appetites, and I'll tell you what, it's a very difficult task, man. It's a very difficult task. Okay, because when you look at these what is it, no FAP, all right, or no porn guys, or semen retention guys, okay, they will tell you, they tell a lot of them, and we're in the age of information, so you got a lot more people coming out with a lot more information and testimonies on how they constantly fight these thoughts and these addictions of pornographic material, and how they've been abstaining from it. That's where the word abstinence come from. Abstain. Okay, So, and that's what forbearance, and you know, one of those appetites, as it says in the first definition, is the sexual appetite. All right, the hypersexual appetite. Okay, because what when you first have sex, and I'm referring to this society, when you first have sex and stuff like that, it starts to become a itch that you want to scratch. You know, whether all the time or just here and there. You know, brothers got testimonies. Okay. It becomes an itch that you want to scratch. And this is why having sexual control or emotional control in general is very important, because, you know, sometimes that sexual appetite can go haywire, man. All right, it can get out of control. Okay. The what? Next thing you know, you got a bunch of STDs, you got a bunch of children. All right. And there was a study that showed, I'm not going to pull everything up, but there was a study that showed that a lot of people who engage in hookup culture are, you know, essentially more depressed than everybody else. And of course they are, man. Okay, because what? When you engage in sexual activity with each and every random person, all right, especially, you know, from more particular from a man to a woman, okay, speaking as men, when you touch a woman, and who has been touched plenty of times before, you got to remember, you're taking on a bunch of other men's spirits as well. You're taking on a bunch of other men's energies as well. And that's even more dangerous for women, because when women go around sleeping with whoever the hell they want to, they're taking on that spiritual energy from those men. Okay? So now you got everybody knowing each other. Everybody knowing each other, and it's going off, man. That's way off. All right, so that's why it's good to be abstinent. Okay, then it says abstinence, starvation. Okay, it's okay to starve yourself of that sexual appetite that you have, man. All right, because if anything, the Lord loves that, and that's a sacrifice. All right, it says self-restraint, integrity. Okay, integrity. What? To hold together. All right, let me see. It says withhold, keep back, keep off. All right, now when I'm using this word abstinence, I'm not just saying abstain from sex. That's not what I'm saying. All right, because I do it myself. All right, I got my elements that the Lord has blessed me with. All right. So if you're a brother in the truth, and you know what I'm saying, like you find it difficult to, you know, keep a woman around for whatever reason and so on and so forth, okay, then what? You should try a different alternative, man. If it's sexual abstinence, okay, that you want to try out, then there's nothing wrong with that. You can do that. All right, because even the Apostle Paul, he said what? Even when you get a woman on the side, all right, I'll just go ahead and type it in. You're gonna have this right here. Oops, I spelled it wrong. Salakia. This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 7 verse 28. Okay, it says, I'll actually start at I'll start at verse 1 and then I'll jump down. 1 Corinthians 7 and 28. 7 and 1. Salakia. It says, now concerning the things whereof ye wrote unto me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman. All right, why is that? Because the women in this life are full of trouble. Okay? Now, this is not to say the Lord won't protect you from, you know what I'm saying, like a STD or heartbreak or emotional damage, whatever it is. Okay? This is not to say that the Lord can't fortify your mind or your body against these women. However, if you don't take the measures, all right, to be more careful in, you know, selecting what type of woman you want to have in your life, yes, the Lord can fuck you up, man. Excuse my French, but the Lord can do a lot of damage to you because what? You're not considering yourself. Okay? The Apostle Paul knew that the women in his time were full of trouble, man. A lot of them were just, they were raging whores, man. Okay? Now let me jump down. You can read this whole chapter for yourselves. This is, you know, personally one of my favorite chapters. Let me jump down to 1 Corinthians 7 and 25. It says, now concerning virgins, I have no commandment of the Lord. Hold on. Yeah, Khan. It says, now concerning virgins, I have no commandment of the Lord, yet I give my judgment as one that hath obtained mercy of the Lord to be faithful. Okay, because the Apostle Paul, he was a eunuch. He abstained from touching women, which there's nothing wrong with that, man. Okay, whether you're a brother who has this lot of sleeping with women on the side or not, that's perfectly fine, because in the eyes of the Lord, you're justified as long as you're doing the work, as long as you're doing what you're supposed to do. Okay? Verse 25, Salaki, verse 26, it says, I suppose therefore that this is good for the man. Excuse me, let me read that over. It says, I suppose therefore that this is good for the present distress. I say that it is good for a man so to be. All right, to be faithful more to Yahweh Shemi Hawashai. All right, because when you get with a woman, you got to remember, brothers, we give our time and our attention unto them. All right, they're gonna need that. All right, and if you don't know how to do that, if you don't know how to deal with that, then it's better not to put yourself in that situation to begin with, if you can avoid it. All right. It says, art thou bound to a wife? Seek not to be loose. Art thou loosed from a wife? Seek not a wife. Okay? If you got a wife, don't try to get away from her just because you came into the truth. All right? Because, a lot of brothers, who's dealing with many women or one woman, they get so attached to the truth, they get overzealous and they start doing everything the wrong way. Okay? Bringing more unnecessary tribulation to themselves. I should know. All right? It says, seek not to be loosed. Art thou loose from a wife? Seek not a wife. So don't go looking for love. Like that song by Jaheim. Looking for love in all the wrong places, and so on and so forth, man. All right. But by listening to our desires, that's essentially what we do. All right. Because what do you start dating shorties on the job? Okay, which that's where you make your money. It's not wise. It's not wise. That's where you make your money at. All right. And then what if it don't work out? You're potentially compromising yourself, man. Now everybody's in your fucking business, and it could get to a point where just like people might start bullying you, and then what? You got to find another fucking job, and then brothers could rebuke you and check you for that shit, man, because it was a boneheaded decision. All right. But if you don't have a wife, don't go looking for one, man. All right. Now don't get it twisted. Sometimes things happen, and with proper discernment and so on and so forth, even praying to Yahweh Shemi Hawashai, like if you meet a woman, you feel like, she's decent, you could deal with her, pray to Yahweh Shemi Hawashai, flip a coin, and the Lord may deliver it to your hands. Okay? Verse 28, it says, but, and if thou marry, now the word marry in the scriptures, okay, marriage is synonymous with sex, man. All right, sex constitutes marriage. Okay, it's not getting on one knee and giving a woman a ring and putting it on her finger and so on and so forth. That's not marriage. All right, and I could prove that. It says, she hath not sinned. Oh, excuse me. It says, but and if thou marry, thou hast not sinned. So you didn't go off if you slept with a woman that that you feel close to. All right, that you develop this emotional bond with. It says, and if a virgin marry, she have not sinned. Okay, so she didn't sin either. Okay, it says, nevertheless, such shall have trouble in the flesh, but I spare you. Okay, the scriptures say, such shall have trouble in the flesh, man. You're gonna go through shit, man. All right, and you got a lot of hypersensitive jakes that just like if they get into a situation with a woman, they just fuck it, we over. Yada yada yada, so on and so forth, and you just casting your woman away, man. You're not trying to make it work, okay? The only time, according to the law, the only time you're really supposed to divorce a woman is if she steps outside of you. All right? And that's why the apostle said, what? But I spare you, man, because we're gonna go through so much shit, man. Okay? And one of the main things with Jake's, with Jake as a whole, like we excel with attachments and things of that nature, man. We excel with attachments. Okay, that's why it hurts so much when that attachment is severed by someone else's infidelity. Okay, prime example, the Heavenly Father in Israel, man. Go see about that in Jeremiah the 3rd chapter. It says, verse 29, plenty of scriptures. Verse 29, it says, but this I say, brethren, the time is short. It remaineth that both they that have wives be as though they had none. Okay? And that's really the point on that. I'll stop there and go back. All right, because what? Even if you do have a wife, we have to be so, indulged in this truth All right, that sometimes you got to be like, you know, like give her less time than you know we normally do. All right, we got to give her a lot less time than what we normally, you know, are used to. Okay, because what the time is short, man. We almost out of here. All right, all of these wars and rumors of wars. Okay, all of this sexual perversion going on. All right, all of these homicides. All right, and suicides. All right, all of this central banking, digital currency age, all of these things popping off. All right, being abstinent is looking like a really good idea right now. Okay, if you want to be abstinent up until the kingdom, that's fine. If you want to be abstinent up until Isaiah 4:1, because we're gonna know when that happens, that's fine as well. Okay, moderation is key, man. All right, moderation is king. All right. But once again, we live in this whole standard of hookup culture and things of that nature. You know, doing things that are you know, of the world. All right. Once again, we should not be involved in the world. All right. That's why the scriptures say what? Love not the world. Matter of fact, let me pull that and then I'll move on. Love not the world. Okay. 1 John 2:15. It says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. Okay, so if you love engaging in hookup culture, and I'm not just talking to brothers, I'm talking to anybody listening who's doing this shit or intends to do this shit or who's getting off of it. Okay, I'm talking to whoever's listening. All right, if you love the world, the love of the Heavenly Father and the Son is not in you, because what you want to participate in these wicked acts. Okay, you're participating in what everybody else is doing, so you can have a story to talk about, you know, with your boys or whatever. Like, hey, you know, I popped this one shorty. Just look, let your bedroom business rest within yourself. Okay, let your bedroom business rest within yourself, man. Okay. It says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. All right, all you know, the lust of the flesh, man. You know, having a nice car or desiring a nice fancy car, an expensive car or motorcycle, whatever you into. Okay, desiring a super beautiful woman. Okay, marveling at some potentially abominable beast that they, you know, call food. And shit like that, like, you know, damn, that's octopus. Wow, that shit kind of look good. I know I'm in the truth for stuff, but I might want to try that. I was like, nah, no. Okay, love not the world, man. All right, we're supposed to have no attachment, no affections to this place. All right, and this is plain. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. All right, Yahweh Shem Yahshua is not dealing with you if you want to, you know, continue to indulge in the activities of this world, man. All right. Let me get this in the book. All right, this is in the Apocrypha, in Ecclesiasticus, called Sirach, chapter 25. Verse 21. It says, stumble not at the beauty of a woman and desire her not for pleasure. All right, now why did the scripture say this? All right, now this is really plain to the point. This is really cut and dry, okay? Because in a hypersexualized or over-sexualized society, what you got these women out here, all right? Because Esau has gassed them up, thinking that they could look however the hell they want. Okay, they could do whatever the hell they want, and so, you know, a lot of them walk out with the yoga pants, and the older and the younger do it, man. They walk out with the yoga pants, all right, the short shorts, okay. They got the real fat cheeks, you know, what's that word? Brick house. Okay. They got the titties out. Whatever it is, man, they're dressing highly immodestly, man. And the scriptures talk about a woman, you know, being adorned in modest apparel in the book of 2 Timothy, man. All right, the scriptures talk about women being adorned in modest apparel, but the women out here are highly immodest, man. All right, you can't tell if a woman is sincere or if she's a straight whore, man, because they all dress alike. And what they've been conditioned to. Okay? So it says, stumble not at the beauty of a woman. So as a matter of fact, let's look at the word stumble real quick. That's a funny word. I feel like that's going to be a funny word. It says trip or momentarily lose one's balance, almost fall. Okay, a part of that loss of balance is going to shoot your shot at shorty, man. Okay, because you want to clap cheeks. You know, you want to get your rocks off. Okay, now even though, you know, we was like that in the ancient world, it's even worse now because of the pornographic material, man. So, you know, even fat chicks, you know, the gorditas, all right, even the gorditas are gassed the fuck up right now. Even they're gassed up, you know, with the ripples in the bellies, okay, the mean cellulite between the thighs and so on and so forth. Even they're gassed up right now because what of you know, pornographic material and them being over sexualized, man. All right, you got these females out here thinking that, you know, good dick means good relationship. All right, and so they bounce from man to man to man to man to man. All right, and whatchamacallit, alpha male strategies. You know, one thing I learned from him, which the script, I believe there's a scripture in there somewhere, but it's like women will always leave you. I mean, hell, a woman shall compass a man. All right, because women have more authority than men in this society. All right, a woman shall compass a man. All right. And one of the points that alpha male strategy said, because he was talking to, you know, quote unquote purple pill guys, you know what I'm talking about, you know, men who believe in the red pill and the blue pill, you know, they want to be an alpha man, but, you know, but they want to be married in this society. All right, for those of you who don't know who what a purple pill is, okay, but going back to the point, all right, Slakia, but it's basically, you know, that balance that's lost, all right, that trip is what you just wanting to smack that shorty down and, you know, being done with it, man. Okay, so going back to Sirach 25 and 21, stumble not at the beauty of a woman and desire her not for pleasure. All right, so there you go. All right, and once again, and this is why this is one of the hardest captivities. This is why this is one of the hardest, well, the absolute, not one of them, this is the absolute hardest captivity of punishment, okay, and servitudes that we're in for Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay, you Jakes out there, this is the hardest captivity we've ever been in, okay, because what it appeals to our flesh, man, so much. It appeals to our flesh so much. Okay. And I wanted to make this quick point too. Matter of fact, let me get this so I don't lose my train of thought. I wanted to make this quick point as well, that when you continuously look at porn and the elements thereof, all right, and what you start flicking your liquor to it and stuff like that, you know, tickling your pickle to it excessively, what it causes or it can lead to erectile dysfunction. Did you know that? All right, excessively clucking your chicken can lead to erectile dysfunction, man, because what you're releasing, you know, semen and blood out of your system. So if you start doing that shit too much and things of that nature, like, I don't know, 3-4 times a day, all right, you got to understand that you're decreasing your testosterone, you're losing blood flow, man. All right, this is also why I made a video. I was talking about beards, but if you know, for you brothers looking for more testosterone, don't skip leg day, man. All right. And not only, you know, going back to the, you know, masturbation and porn situation, okay, yes, it does lead to erectile dysfunction, but it also leads to premature ejaculation. So let's say for whatever the cause you is about to, you know, go into a shorty and shit like that, you know, and while you warming up, you notice you about to pop, okay, that also comes from stress. All right, so before you even go into shorty, you pop. Then it's like, oops. Okay, so once again, this is why it's good to abstain from you know, that pornographic material, man. All right, and it's a fight. Damn it, it's a fight, man. It's one hell of a battle. It really is, man. Okay. This is the book of Matthew chapter 5 verse 28. Now this is land backing off of that Sirach 25 and 21. It says, but I say unto you that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her have committed adultery with her already in his heart. All right, so you already in if you don't know what adultery is, look it up. But even if you look at a woman, you already committed adultery, because what? The majority of these women haven't been dealt with, okay? Or is dealing with somebody. You even looking at her skin, her legs, you know, her arms, her chest, whatever the case, you already committed adultery, man. All right, now there's balance to that, because in a society, what? Again, I mentioned the yoga pants, you know, the immodest apparel as a whole. All right, there's really nothing we can fucking do about it, man, except stay focused, man. Don't go, if you see a shorty a mile away and stuff like that, don't go damn run her down a mile away, man. Okay, don't go chase. I recommend not chasing shorties in general. You know, that's what I've been practicing. I don't chase shorties. I don't have to. Okay. What Jake like this? What's the quote right now? You know, for these masculine men, you know, men, we are the prize. We are the prize. Now they say it in a carnal sense, but we say it in a spiritual sense. We are the prize, man. All right, we shouldn't have to go chase down no shorty. All right. But as always, there's balance to that, man. Okay. If you meet a woman, y'all getting along, y'all having good conduct and so on and so forth, there's nothing wrong with, you know, hey, you know, can we get to know each other more? There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm talking about the fucking, like the cartoons with the, hold up. Look at this shit. Jaw drop cartoon. Now, if you just over here like this, all right, then brother, you got a problem. All right, you got a problem. Okay, and you usually see the jaw drop. Garfield. You usually see the jaw drop in cartoons. Okay, when a character is super duper surprised about something, or they're looking at some real baddie. Okay, that's usually when you see the jaw drop. But I digress. All right, so if you out there like that, then you know what I'm saying, like, you know, brother, you got a problem. Okay, but that was the point of it. What was that? Matthew 5 and 28. All right. So what? When we observe these shorties out here, we already commit adultery in our heart, man. But what? It's one of those things that we really can't help. And this is why we don't stress keeping the law. All right. This is why the men of GMS, Great Millstone, do not stress keeping the law, because we can't keep the law 100%. Okay. From the food to the clothing to the women and women's apparel. Okay. We cannot keep the law 100% like we want to. All right. Romans the 7th chapter. I'm not going to get it, but you know, go and read that for yourselves. All right. Highly recommend it. Okay. Once again, this whole pornographic thing, this hypersexuality, all right, casual sex hookup culture is highly immoral, man. All right. And if you're a wise brother who really trying to get your mind right and things of that nature, and you know, continue to be indulged in the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shah, it would be good to you know, flee those elements thereof, man. Okay. And what? Get connections, man. You know, for you brothers, because once again, there's nothing wrong with going into a prostitute. All right. There's nothing wrong with getting connections. Like, I talk to every damn body, man. I talk to every damn body. Okay. I talk to whoever you know is can you know, keep up with conversation and so on and so forth. All right, you can talk to people and be like, hey, like, you know, do you know somebody, and so on and so forth. All right, like, do you know anybody in the area? All right, it's a risky game, so you know, proceed with caution. All right, proceed at your own discretion. All right, but what, man? It's everything is basically to your own discretion. Okay, let me see. I wanted to get this in Romans chapter 1, and this is what happens when you indulge in those behaviors. All right, that what you learn from porn. I'm gonna just get to the point. This whole chapter is really heavy though. Okay, This is what's going on with the wicked of our people right now and the other people. Romans chapter 1 verse 24 says, wherefore the Most High also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves. It says, who changed the truth of the Most High into a lie, and worshiped and served the creature more than the Creator, who was blessed forever. Amen. Okay, and that's exactly what Esau did. He changed the truth of the Most High into a lie. Okay, and this, you know what, I say Esau, but this really started with Jake, man. Okay, straying away from the law, statutes, and the commandments. All right, we changed the truth of the Most High into a lie, man. We said through our idolatry, through our spiritual adultery, we said we don't need the Most High, man, by breaking the covenant, time after time after time. It's just now Esau, these red people, they've expounded on it in the absolute worst ways possible. Okay. It says, for this cause, the Most High gave them up to vile affections. It says, for even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. All right, we know what that is. All right, what's the natural use of a woman? To submit to her husband and only be to her husband. Okay, a woman to be to a man. Okay, but what? It says their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. All right, so what? The girl on girl action, man. That's going off. All right. Even though, to some guys it might look hot, I've always been disturbed by that. I ain't even gonna front. I've always been disturbed by that. Even when I was in the world, I'm like, this shit is not sexy, man. Forgive me, I know I'm a little raw and stuff, but this is just how I get down. This is just my spirit. Verse 27, it says, and likewise also the men. Okay, so the men is doing it too. It says, leaving the natural use of the woman. What does that mean? Come on now. Leviticus 20 and 13. It says, burn in their lust one toward another. And that's the thing with porn too. Is different wormholes and gateways into different fantasies, man. All right. You got transformer porn, you got cartoon porn, you got animal porn. Okay, it's all different types of pornographic material out here, man. Highly immoral, beyond unnatural, man. It says, men with men working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error which was meet, because that's the nature of what a wicked person, man. All right, that's the nature of carnal man. Okay, that's the nature of carnal man. That's why it's good, to abstain, once again, to abstain from hookup culture. More importantly, because I've been working on this as well. Desexualizing my mind. All right, there's nothing wrong with that. All right, because in a world where everything induces the dopamine in our imaginations, okay, you want to detoxify your mind, man. All right, and me personally, and I did a video on it before, but me personally, like, I listen to soothing music before I go to sleep. I try not to look at anything on YouTube that involves dating or women or models or sports, whatever the case. Women's sports or the Olympics. I do my best to listen to calming music before I go to sleep. Okay, like the music that I got playing right now. All right, and I also listen to a lot of videos, that talks about semen retention and so on and so forth. Let me you can just type in semen retention, whatever benefits. You can type in any, and I listen to all of these videos, man. All right, they tell you the benefits of semen retention. They tell you the benefits of NoFap. They tell you the benefits of desexualizing your mind. You can look all of this stuff up. Desexualizing your brain. Okay, you see this? And this individual, I don't think I've ever watched his videos, but it says how to undo your porn damaged brain. Okay, and then what? His thumbnail is the Olympic shorty with the cheeks out and so on and so forth. That's funny as hell. All right. Look, and these are real elements. You know, if you don't come across a brother who talks about these things on a regular, all right, there's nothing wrong with looking at videos in the world that can help you, you know, de-escalate the hypersexualized mind that you may have, all right, especially if you're dealing with, you know, pornographic material. Okay. Let me see, because I got a little bit more stuff. All right, but basically, you know, it just you know, in so many words, we have to get our heads out of the gutter, man. All right, we don't want to you know, partake in the elements of this society, man. All right, this is one of my favorite chapters. Actually, these 3 chapters, and it's more than likely more, but these 3 chapters, Proverbs 5, 6, and 7, actually talks about avoiding immoral women. Okay, it says, my son, attend unto my wisdom, and bow thine ear to my understanding, that thou mayest regard discretion, and that thy lips may keep knowledge. For the lips of a strange woman drop as in honeycomb, and her mouth is smoother than oil, but her end is bitter as wormwood, sharp as a 2-edged sword. Her feet go down to death, her steps take hold on hell. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop there, you know, as far as this chapter. All right, you can read the whole thing for yourselves, and you know, the beauty in the scriptures are the duality of the scriptures. Okay, you know, one thing can also represent something else. Like I did a video yesterday talk about wine represents philosophy, okay, or the truth. All right, the scriptures are what's the word that I used to like using a lot? Manifold. There we go. The scriptures are manifold. All right, let's look that up real quick. It says many and various. Okay, so certain things in the scriptures, this is why it's important to be spiritual, into what to listen to the elders and elder brothers who have the secrets behind these manifold, you know, words and these sayings, these parables. Okay, because even though this chapter is talking about, you know, literal women, it's also talking about philosophy and doctrine, okay, of this world, man. Okay, stay away from, you know, those tantalizing doctrines and philosophies that sound good, like wisdom, excuse me, Salakia, like Islam. All right, maybe Confucianism. Maybe you're a brother who just came out of Confucianism. All right, maybe you was heavy into it. Maybe you was heavy into Buddhism. All right, maybe you was heavy into, you know, whatever it is, man. Okay, it's talking about those things. All right, maybe you was a brother heavy into atheism. Okay, the scriptures tell us to stay away from. The scriptures tell us that that we shouldn't be tossed to and fro with diverse, you know, winds of doctrine. Okay, Proverbs 6, and there was something in particular that I wanted to jump to, so I'll just go ahead and do that. Proverbs 6 and 24. It says to keep thee from the evil woman, from the flattery of the tongue of a strange woman. Okay, because these women out here, they know how to trick and trap you up, man. Okay, they start talking to you, then you get locked in conversation. Next thing you know, you her slave. All right, next thing you know, you her slave, man. Now, and this isn't, of course, a video getting on women. This is just a video for really anybody, especially brothers. Okay, especially men, to what? Come out of that mindset of, you know, hypersexualization. You know, like, oh, I just want sex all the time. Just like, we got to rule our spirits, man. We got to rule our spirits. Even in Isaiah 4:1, we have to rule our spirits, man. Okay, it says, lust not after her beauty in thine heart, neither let her take thee with her eyelids. Okay, you know, she wearing a damn mascara. All right, she got the blushes. You know, she's smiling all crazy. Okay, and also I'll say this too: pay attention to women with big eyes, with like real wide eyes. Watch out for them things, man. All right, women, when you talk to them, their eyes is all big and so on and so. Watch out for them, man. You know, I know from experience, those are very dangerous individuals. You know, it says, lust not after her beauty in thine heart, neither let her take thee with thy eyelids. Verse 25 in the NLT on the right hand side, it says, don't lust for her beauty. Don't let her coy glances seduce you. And I'll say this too, man, because what we Jake, man, we Israel, we love women. We absolutely love women, man. Okay, and it shows with in our celebrities, but I mean, all of them is weirdos. Okay, but what happens when you lust after women? You end up like a King David, man. End up committing, murder and adultery. King David, he had one of his men murdered on the front lines, and took his wife. Okay, that's what happens when you lust after a woman's beauty. All right, you commit sin, and the Lord got him back for that. Okay, King Solomon, who had 1,000 women, 700 wives, 300 concubines. King Solomon had 1,000 women. Okay, and he ended up falling in King Solomon, King David's son. He was a mighty man. He was a mighty king in Israel in his time. But what King Solomon, by way of his women, he fell after idolatry. All right, he fell after idolatry, man. He went up from serving the Heavenly Father in his last days. Okay. Verse 26, it says, for by means of a whorish woman, a man is brought to a piece of bread, and the adulteress will hunt for the precious life. Yeah, that's what these women do, man. They bleed you dry. I done met a lot of jakes on the job, men in general on the job that have been bled dry by these lecherous females out here, man. These bloodthirsty females out here, man. And once again, if you're an emotional brother like myself and stuff like that, it would be in your best interest not to, deal with women too much on this side, man. It would be in your very best interest not to deal with women on the side. Even if you haven't had a woman for a long time, man, just go cluck your chicken somewhere, not to porn, all right? Or practice semen retention, whatever you want to do, but it would be in your best interest, or go find a prostitute. It would be in your best interest not to, engage in that emotional bond. Like, don't put too much investment into a woman on the side, man. All right, don't put too much investment into a woman on the side. That's the wisest thing you could possibly do. And that's my advice, because it comes from the scriptures. I'll say that. All right, but at the end of the day, man, no, I'm not gonna get that. At the end of the day, just pray to Yahweh Shem Al-Shah to fortify your mind against the ways of evil, because these females of today, they ain't nothing but wiles of the devil, man. Okay, they're nothing but wiles of the devil. All right. Let me get this one last scripture and then I'll close out. Galatians 5:16, it says, this I say then, walk in the spirit, and you shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. Okay, so walking in the spirit, what does that mean? Walking in the spirit is, talking to a brother, even about your, maybe your brother with a porn addiction. It's okay to talk to a brother about it. Okay, if you're a brother with, I don't know, some type of addiction somewhere, maybe it's alcohol. Okay. Maybe it's whatever it is, man. You know what I mean. Talk to Yahweh Shem Yahushua about it. Talk to the Lord about it. Talk to a brother about it. Okay. Watch some videos. All right. Try to find out a way to conquer whatever fleshly demon it is that you have. And then proceed. All right. What the scriptures say, a just man falleth 7 times, but he getteth up again. All right, we got a crown of life that we're looking forward to, man. So let's continue to get our spirits in check. All right, let's continue to be those brides for our groom that is to come. Our groom being Yahweh Shai. Okay, it says, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. Galatians 5:25, it says, if we live in the spirit, let us also walk in the spirit. So there you go. All right, talk to brothers, do videos, pray, fast. Okay, and fasting really helps, by the way, too. I know I said it plenty of times before, can't really say it enough, but fasting really helps. Okay, like I'm talking about you pray to Yahweh Shem Al-Shah, whatever it is you're going through, and what you fast, You know, maybe a day, maybe 2 days, maybe 3 days, and the Lord will definitely, not only will he bless you, but he'll start piece by piece removing whatever kind of carnality you have on yourself. Okay? Lord's willing, this is edifying. Shalom.